everyone. We got to come outside tonight because we live where it's warm. I don't know if you can see the sun going down behind us, but we decided to have dinner out tonight, outside.
Right?
We're actually grilling barbecue chicken and potatoes on our grill. And if I have to get up, just excuse me, I may have to turn the chicken over so they don't burn during our broadcast here. So hope you'll excuse us if we have to do that.
We're multitasking.
That's right. But we're having a great time here tonight on a little date. And this is a great idea that you can do for Valentine's this week. Just have a date at home and go outside if you're where it's warm enough. And if you're not, well, maybe you can bring something from outside in so it seems more like outside. And enjoy a nice dinner together. And mainly it's about being together and talking and listening, guys, listening, lots of listening, and not talking and understanding. And that's what lots of good date nights are really all about. And Darla has a particular one she's been thinking about that we've had in the past, and she wants to tell you about a special date night that we had one time, or maybe day date. I'm not sure.
Date?
Whichever one it is.
We have a lot, so I will just tell you one that's super fun, and you might put it on your bucket list, I guess. So one time Kevin was working in New England, and I was working in Atlanta, and instead of coming all the way home to Phoenix on the weekend, I just decided that I would go up to New England and see him. So that was a date in itself because we were traveling and working and it's hard to do all of that. So we were making it happen and making it work, right? And then we got to go on this super cool whale watching trip. And
That was great.
right?
Yeah,
He
that was
never knows
awesome.
what I'm going to talk about, you guys. But we went on this we went on this boat ride out into the ocean, of course, off of, where were we? Boston, somewhere like that.
Yeah, awesome.
And there's a reserve out there, reserve. Anyways, there's a place out there not too far from land that is real. Well, you can't really see land once you get out there. It's really out in the ocean. But there's this one area that's a little less deep. It's more shallow.
So imagine a plateau or a small mountain underneath the ocean
Yeah.
that makes it closer to the surface of the ocean. Okay.
And so it's still really deep, but not for a whale. And then there's food for the whales. And the cruise director, whatever, tour guide, he told us that we were going to see there's possibility of 3 different kinds of whales. And so we were out there seeing them. And we really did, on one trip, you guys, we got to see 3 different kinds of whales.
So awesome.
It was super cool, super fun. And then, you know, it's not my favorite thing to go on a boat. Have you guys gone on a boat? So you have to be prepared for a boat ride because that might not be a great date. But we did great and we had an amazing time. And so put that on your bucket list if you ever get to go have a chance of whale watching or seeing dolphins. I mean, I lived in San Diego and we used to swim and there would be dolphins in the water. And I just think seeing wildlife in the wild, when it's just amazing to me.
Yeah,
So it was super cool.
So if you're wondering, why does it matter that there was a mountain under the ocean that was close to the surface? It's for this. You've probably seen the whales' tails come up out of the water, right? On TV and on movies, and maybe you've got to see it yourself. I don't know. But what the whales do is they go up out of the surface and they dive back down, and they dive on top of this plateau. And so what happens is they're so large. I mean, they're larger than this screen. I can't show you how large they are. They're so large that when they go down so fast, the fish that they want to eat, krill, I believe they're called, they just automatically rise to the surface. And so then on the trip back up, the whale opens his mouth and he gets all the krill that he can eat. And so that's how they feed themselves. And it was just awesome to see these whales over and over again coming out of the ocean and diving down. Their tails would flap and they would go down into the water. And then another one would come out and somebody would point, oh, look over there. And we would see another one. And some of them were really close to the boat. And so we were getting splashed with ocean water. Which it was the summertime, so it was okay.
Nice.
It was at least enjoyable. It wasn't too cold, and we had a great time doing that. So yeah, that was a great.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
So if we know that it's winter now for most of you, and depending on where you're watching from, and we live in Arizona, so we can't really, like this weekend, we can't go whale watching. So you could watch Nemo, or you could watch other whale movies.
Free Willy.
Free Willy, that's it.
Yeah.
There's some other ones out there. But anyways, just get in tune with nature. I think it brings you just more alive when you see wildlife or nature. So you could go out and see something that's alive and in their own habitat and all of that. And I think it just gives you more spirit and
Right.
energy. Right?
Oh yeah. So another date that we went on,
Another one?
this was a really special date. We got to go on a cruise
Oh.
to Alaska
Mhm.
last year.
Only
Not last
cruise-
year, but the year before last.
Only cruise I've ever been on.
And
amazing.
that was awesome. And it wasn't because we enjoyed being on the ocean. We did see some whales as we were going up to Alaska from Seattle. We would see whales just along the side of the boat with their tails coming out,
Mhm.
like we just talked about. It was amazing.
Mhm.
But then when we got to Alaska,
Mhm.
we saw all kinds of wildlife in the wild. And
Super cool.
it was such an amazing trip. We saw bald eagles flying everywhere at one of the ports of Alaska. I don't remember which one that was, but one of the ports down toward the southern end of Alaska. And then we went into another port and we drove into Canada. And on that trip, we saw a bear, a live bear. And that was amazing. He was just off the side of the road. And so what else did we see?
Well, we didn't. Well, we know that there's wildlife that saw us.
Oh yeah, there was another time we went to see this glacier and we were walking on this trail
Mhm.
and we saw people were pointing at the bear scat. Now, if you don't know what bear scat is, I'll let you look that up and you can learn something new today. But bear scat was on the ground and people were saying that's definitely bear scat. It was like
Fresh,
a tour guide telling us
By
that.
the way,
Right.
fresh. The
So
ranger,
you just
park
be
ranger.
careful. There could be bears in the area. Anyway, we went and saw the glacier and we had a great time taking pictures and we came back and we got in our car and I was looking on my phone at the pictures we took and I had taken a picture of Darla. And when I zoomed in on the picture in the background,
Mhm.
I could see 3
Mhm.
bears
Mhm.
up in the tree.
The park ranger told us there was a mama and 2 babies there.
That's right. So luckily it wasn't Papa Bear that was in the tree, but Mama Bear and 2 babies. And so that was just amazing. And Alaska is just this wide open country with, ocean all along the side of it and wildlife everywhere and moose. I've seen moose in Alaska.
Mhm.
Let's see, bald eagles.
If you ever get a chance, put the Alaska trip on your
Oh
bucket
yeah,
list.
get there somehow.
It's amazing.
It's not easy to get to. But
Oh,
get
and
there
the
somehow.
food. It was amazing. We
Yes.
had like fresh salmon. which
Oh
is
yeah, in one of the ports we did. Oh,
In
yeah,
one of the
it was
restaurants.
awesome.
It was really, really good.
And one night I had king crab legs fresh out of the ocean.
Those are
They were
huge.
like so big, bigger than my plate.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
Yeah.
So those are a couple things you can put on your bucket list. Go whale watching, go to Alaska and go whale watching and go do all the other stuff we talked about.
Or you could go to the Travel Channel.
Yeah, or
If you're
go to the
home.
Travel Channel since things you're not traveling right now, and go watch that. But put those things on your list. They
Yeah,
are
definitely.
definitely worth saving your money for and going and experiencing someday together. Right,
Together.
sweetheart?
Together makes a big difference.
Definitely together. So we hope you guys will have a great evening. I've got to go turn that chicken before it burns, and I'm in big trouble.
Do you know what's on your spouse's bucket list?
That's right. Better
There's a
ask
topic
him.
for tonight.
You might be surprised.
You might surprise you.
That's
Bye,
right.
guys.
So we'll talk to you later. Everybody take care.